Welcome back, everybody, to the Small Package Podcast. My name is James Willems, and I'm here to show you that you can have a package of any size and still be a champion. I'm joined, as always, by my friend and the smallest of packages, Scorpio Sky.
It's not about the size of the package, it's how tight you lock it in.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Gotta lock it in tight.
Yeah, exactly.
And don't let go.
Speaking of tight.
Speaking of tight, we'll take it over. We are also joined by our producer, Eric Bador.
Well, as the only non-title holder ever in my life, I have to listen to you guys about small packages and what to do. I understand. I have a lot to learn in the small package world.
Your package is too big. I've said that. It limits you.
The smaller the package, I know I said size doesn't matter, but really the smaller the package, the better.
It comes out of nowhere.
Because if you want to lock it in, you have less room to lock in if it's smaller. Am I right? Or am I right?
Man, listen, you win titles this way. I don't know what to tell you. Congratulations, James. You're still the champion, right?
Yeah, I'm still the champion because I haven't wrestled. I haven't gone back. I found a loophole, actually.
You like the people that you miss, 100% of the shots that you don't take? If nobody takes a shot at you.
Yeah, my batting average.
They're going to keep missing.
Yeah, is really, really high because I don't even go to the mound.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
You were going to say something.
I was just going to say I'm still the champion. Yes. No. As crazy as the intro for this episode seems, it's a draft episode.
It's a draft.
We're back with the draft. I think last week we alluded to what we thought we were going to do, and then we shut ourselves down because we always get too ahead of the game.
Well, we thought of it on the show.
Yeah. And so we said, hey, that's a great idea, us. And we're going to do it. So we're going to be drafted. We'll just jump right in because these always take longer than we think they will.
Facts.
But
it's true.
We're going to, the exact phrasing of it. What did you write down, Eric?
Best to never win the world title. That is the criteria for today's draft. Sky came up with this and then quickly was we got to do it. We got to do this. We have to do this. Texting going, come on. But, Sky needs to know the criteria for this. Sky has all these questions. I kept saying, save it. You were like, you're fired up about this one.
Well, like I wanted to be specific because, and I sent a message to us earlier today in our group chat and I said, what promotions do we want to consider in world championships? And I think we're all, I think, on a little bit of slightly different pages, but I'll tell you where I'm at with it, and I want to make it simple. I don't want to disrespect any promotions.
Okay.
But the titles that are the companies with world championships that we are honoring, or at least I am honoring in this draft, is WWE/WCW, or WWE/WWF, WCW, ECW, TNA, ROH, and AEW. Okay. So everyone I choose will have never won a world championship from those companies. And to be specific, when it comes to WCW, I am talking the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, not the International Championship that they had for a while when they used the big gold belt. Yeah. No, we mean the WCW World Championship.
Yes. I'm glad that you didn't mention BCWA.
No, I didn't.
Because that's what that was my backyard wrestling organization.
Or the
of which
EWA.
I am technically still the world champion. So
I am still the EWA world champion.
It feels good.
Oh,
I won that title in 2009, I
nice
believe.
job.
So,
nice job. That's a long time.
It's a long time. I beat Bob Backlund.
I mean, I guess I probably won mine in like 1999 or something. So I was 3 decades as champion.
Yes. So that's the promotions I'm honoring.
Great. Okay.
We're close to it, I think.
Okay, cool. Yes. I tried to stay within that range.
Okay. Perfect.
I feel the same way. I kind of did the same thing. The WCW for me has that like NWA umbrella to it. So like through the 80s for like a lot of this stuff.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah. NWA, I'm not.
That's how.
Yeah.
To me, when I think WCW, it's not just like 1998 WCW. I think of WCW all the way back through NWA and like what that sort of was.
Right.
So that's like my umbrella for what I think of.
It also kind of connects to TNA.
Yeah, TNA right there. That's right. That's right.
Because they started with the NWA World Championship.
Yeah. So no one can draft Jeff Jarrett. I'm very sorry.
No.
But guys, I just heard a rat trap go off in this house.
I thought that was you clapping your hands. Was that not you?
I heard that. Was that a rat trap?
No, that was a rat trap.
It was actually a rat trap.
I thought he was like excitedly going like, all right, let's go, and then clapped your hands.
This dude caught a rat.
Uh-oh.
We got a rat in the house.
How do you feel about it? I feel like if if you, Eric, catch a rat, some of your soul leaves your body. Like that's your horror crux or something.
I'm nervous that I'm going to have to deal with it.
I
don't
hope
wanna have
PETA's
to
not
deal with a
watching
rat.
this show.
Yeah, I don't like that. There's got to be better ways
Well,
to get rid of rats.
if they're going to watch it, they're going to have to figure out who's going first in this draft.
That's
because,
right.
guys. We randomize. We randomize.
Yeah,
And
Randomize.
we got to figure out how many times we got to shuffle to see what this order is. How many times you guys want to shuffle?
Order is very important for
One
this one, I
time.
think. One time?
Why would
one
you
time.
do one? We
One
can do
time.
shuffle.
Oh, because he thinks it's going to bump him over to first. Let's see
The
if it
way,
does.
you know what bothers me the most about the single randomization from James is that when he says it, his arms are crossed. There's a smugness about
It's
one
because I
that
know
don't
how
like.
random works.
It-
I
but you can
understand
random
how
some-
random works.
What episode is this? Do we know?
This is like 61 or 62.
Let's do 62.
Oh my God.
What?
Let's do 62.
You know what? I'm going to split the difference and we're going to go 31.
All
Here
right,
we
okay.
go.
All
31
right,
it
31
is.
times.
Oh my
Oh, you
God.
broke
Get
it.
moved.
Fast. Oh,
Whoa.
holy.
Hang on. Whoa.
When
Yeah,
you
I-
click
who
it
would have
too
thought
fast,
this is
Jumping
what
all over the
happens?
place.
This is really crazy.
go.
All right, here's 30. 30
And
is Sky Eric
I won't say
James.
first.
We should have seen
31
what it was
James
at one.
Hart.
Oh, I'm on the end. I've
Wow.
never been on the end.
Wow.
This is going to be my first
James-
time. I kind of like it.
James Eric Sky?
Okay, this is interesting. This is very, very interesting for me.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
James,
Mm-hmm.
how do you feel about being first on this?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Before we started, we were talking about how we probably share
Let me get my
a
draft
lot of
board out.
names
Yeah.
on our lists.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel pretty good about at least feeling confident that I can grab the top spot.
Mm.
I think by the time it gets back to me, I'm going to be fried, though. So it's bad news for winning the draft,
Yeah.
but at least I know I'll have a crown jewel.
Okay.
So
I feel you.
Well, as number one, you get to pick your crown jewel. James, who do you got?
Who's number one overall pick?
Roddy Piper.
Oh,
Yeah.
Roddy
that was mine.
Piper. I can't
That was
deny
mine.
it.
yeah.
Damn it. Damn it.
I don't even, he was ever present as I was like growing up and watching pro wrestling. I don't think he was ever my guy. And I probably missed his prime. Like my brain wasn't developed enough to appreciate it. But anytime you kind of look into what he did and what he achieved and how he reinvented how promos could be delivered and his just overall skill in the ring, it is the most shocking name on my whole list. It's
I
the
agree.
most shocking. I cannot believe that he did not have a world title run somewhere in there. When you think about the other WWE champions, the Bob Backlunds and stuff,
Yeah.
not to diminish them at all, but that was the biggest name that I came across that I thought was shocking to me. So,
Makes sense. I'm with you on that.
yeah.
Perfect.
I agree with that. Again, that was going to be my first pick.
Mhm.
He is not only this to me was the most shocking thing that I found in my research for who I wanted to pick here. Roddy Piper not only never won the world championship, he only won the Intercontinental title once and held it for 77 days.
Wow.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he didn't hold it 7 more times, and he didn't have this illustration. He never needed a title. It didn't matter. It he was over in a way where it was like, you put the title on him or don't. It does not matter with Roddy Piper. He was just that
Yeah.
big. That's so crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I think a commonality we're going to have with a lot of the guys on this list on our draft most likely will be that they did not hold a lot of championships. And that's a testament to how great they are, starting with Roddy Piper, that he was so good. He didn't really need a championship and still became a mega star that you remember forever.
Yeah.
So huge compliment to Roddy Piper and everyone else that's going to go on this list and continuing our list.
Continuing the list is me.
Yes, it is.
And I am going to go with one that I know is going to be on your guys' list, and it has to be
It's
mine.
probably going to be what I'm going with.
Oh, it's going to be Mr. Perfect.
Oh.
Kurt
Yeah.
Hennig
Oh.
is
Yeah.
the man. I mean, untouchable. And when you think of, I think probably Intercontinental champions, he's like the guy on the list. Should have been should have been a world title holder.
It-
Went to WCW, didn't win it there either. Never won the world championship. Heartbreaking for that guy. Tough.
Yeah.
In my research, he won the AWA
did.
World
Yes.
Heavyweight Championship, but yeah, shocking to
Yeah.
me.
We're not
Yeah.
counting the AWA World Championship. No disrespect to the AWA. Incredible, historic company. And I do recognize them as a world championship, but we're not recognizing them on
Not
our
on
list
this one.
today.
Not on this one.
Don't make it
No.
too hard
Yeah.
for us. No, Mr. Perfect, man. Everyone praises him as one of the best ever, and he is one of the best ever. And he should have been a world champion because he checked every box. He had the look, he had the walk, he had the talk, he had the character, and he was really good in the ring. He checked every single box, and it just didn't happen for him, and it's unfortunate.
You were alluding to it earlier, and I think it's going to be a reoccurring theme on this list, but a lot of the guys who got stuck, for lack of a better term, in the mid-card range because everybody knew they could take someone worse than them and make them look better.
Yeah.
And when you put them at the top, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
You get people that aren't that good losing to them, yeah, sure, but like you can't put them over because then you got these guys winning titles. You need them to have their belts free so they can lose a main event match to put them into the title scene, which is crazy. But
Yeah.
Do you think that there is something to you sell too well and you don't get to that next level because of what James just sort of explained? Like,
I think there's definitely something to that, where you'll see guys, they'll be a little selfish. I'm not going to name names, but there are some guys that are really good, but they're not going to really sell a lot for you. And I think honestly, that's something that I've tried to adopt a little bit over the years quietly. of
selling
just
less?
Not so much selling less, but not selling as big.
Interesting.
yes,
certain
it's selling
things-
differently.
Interesting.
Selling differently.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Just to, I think it's a way of protecting yourself. I think Mr. Perfect is the epitome of what you call the workhorse title. He's kind of one of those guys that, he's always going to have a great match. That's why it always worked with him and like a Shawn Michaels and a Bret Hart, because they're similar. There's just that guy that can work with anybody and is going to always have a good match. And, why they didn't want that for the main event at the time, I don't know. I think it was just a different time, because I would think you would want your world champion to be able to work with anyone. I mean, look at Ric Flair. Very different
Yeah.
from
Oh, yeah.
New York and Atlanta, as they call
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Back then.
Oh yeah,
So very
big
different.
difference. But that's just me and James so far.
That's right.
Sky, you've never been on the end.
Mm.
You're on the end this time, which means you get 2 picks.
Yeah.
Back to back. What's your first one?
We are staying in New York.
Okay.
And I am choosing the $1 Million Man.
Yep.
Ted
Oh.
Yep.
DiBiase.
Yep.
On my list.
I think of all the guys, this is the guy that should have been world champion. Reportedly, he was going to be. For those that don't know the story, whether it's true or not, I don't know. I wasn't there. He was going to win the world championship, and then Honky Tonk Man refused to drop the Intercontinental title to Macho Man. So they switched it and made Macho Man win the world title at WrestleMania 4. So that's the story. It still should have happened at some point. Again, a guy that had the look, he had the walk, he had the talk, he had the character, and he can get it done in the ring. And he was hated. He was mega over. Instant classic matches with Hulk Hogan on the top, with Randy Macho Man Savage. I mean, he could have, the Ultimate Warrior, he could have faced any baby face and made it work. So good. Ted DiBiase.
And he had the belt.
And he had the belt.
He had the belt. That he had it for a while. They knew that was a good thing, that was a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
But
He
not officially
bought the
recognized,
championship.
I guess.
He bought,
He brought it.
Yeah.
It was so smart, and it fit that character. Ted DiBiase, I think, underrated worker also. Like, if you watch some of his stuff before he's the $1 Million Man and all that, man, he could really go. He could really go in the ring, but he knew how to get the character over first so you don't have to go in the ring, right? Like, you can, here's who I am, and then everything else is like, we're telling the story with like these pieces and parts. Really a travesty. that they never actually gave him the world title because he should have been a world champion as that character. It would have been huge. He could have just had the $1 million belt. Like everything about it could have worked. Everything about it seemed like it was set up for him, and it just never happened. A shame.
Especially because you have this motif now where I feel like when a champion wins a world title, at least in AEW or WWE now, it transforms. It takes on their attributes in some ways. That could have easily been something they started with him.
Yeah.
Where he brings the belt out. I made a few changes, you know, like I spent a pretty penny and I made a few changes. So this is what the title looks like. You've ruined it kind of thing would be so fun.
That's a good idea, actually.
You know,
we could have seen some sort of a mix between the Winged Eagle and the $1 million belt as his signature championship belt, which would have been really cool.
Yeah.
Shame. But he never won it. But Sky, you get another pick right off the back of that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What you got?
Tough one, man. However, I am going to choose Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yep.
On my list.
Yep.
Another guy that I'm sure he won them. I cannot name a single championship he won. I'm sure he won plenty outside of WWE. I don't know if he won any in WWE. I don't think he did. But even outside of WWE, I can't name any championships he won. And it goes back to what I was saying as a guy that was so good and so over that he can go basically his entire career without being a champion and is still remembered as such a powerhouse, such a legend, such a top guy. I mean, he was a top guy. I mean, you hear the crowd chanting DDT, DDT, swings his finger, the crowd erupts. These moments that he created, and so smart, man. The way he was able to, like, the look, the walk, the talk. I mean, the promo skills, the character, so good.
Yeah.
Jake.
Absolutely. There is a vibe. I recently came across it that a wrestling archetype is the bouncer. Like, if this guy wasn't discovered so he can fight in arenas in front of 80,000 fans, he'd be a bouncer in the filthiest bar in your town. But it felt like for a long time, basically pre-Stone Cold Steve Austin, that was not the kind of person you put a belt on. That was the kind of person you set up as a supreme villain for your babyface to step over and then make their way to the championship, you know? So
I think that's a great point. And Jake the Snake is that guy. Like, he, again, I think we've talked about it on the show before, like passing the dad test, where wrestling's fake and look at all these guys and they're dancing around and wrestling's fake, and then Jake the Snake comes out and dad goes, but that guy's real.
Yeah, he's real.
Everyone else is like pretending, but that guy's actually real. And that is, to me, Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
So that is, I mean, it's tough because should he have the world championship? Probably. But man, I think he's just one of those guys where it's extenuating circumstances kind of throughout his entire career in like just the wrong place at the wrong time, doing the wrong things, and just things couldn't align for him in the right way. And it's a real shame because he would have been an incredible world champion. So Jake the Snake on my list, and now off my list.
Now off.
Yeah.
But on my list and on the board, I'm going to stay in Minnesota.
I know where you're going.
I'm going to go with Rick Rude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Controversial, though.
Talked about it
Controversial.
at the beginning. Talked about it at the beginning.
Technical. Yeah.
He is a 4-time champion. Not a world champion. WCW International World Heavyweight Champion.
That is why I specifically brought that up. We're not counting that.
Okay, all right. Well, we didn't have this conversation beforehand, so he didn't make my list. I wouldn't have gotten him anyway. Yeah. But he wasn't on my list
just
for this
reason. Just because you had the big gold belt.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was the international champion. That was an international title. It was not a world title.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Just because it was the big gold belt.
Exactly.
What does it mean?
Didn't have it. Never won it. Was everywhere. Look, dude, I don't know if anyone ever looked better than Rick Rude in a professional wrestling ring. He was shredded and jacked in an era where guys were like puffy muscle big.
Yeah.
He was like, he's like that go muscle big where he just is like compact but huge.
Yeah.
And it's so different. And every time he came out, incredible heat. The crowd is paying attention. Everything about his presentation was incredible. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time is Rick Rude. And to never win the world title. Here's the consolation prize, an international championship. That's like holding a national championship and calling it like a world title. It just doesn't make any sense to me, James.
I didn't call it a world title. I said, who needs the world when you got the country that matters? I don't need the world. I want to say, I mean, we see the trend of these wrestlers, but I think the funniest thing about Rick Rude is how they were like, hey, this Ultimate Warrior guy, he don't know what the hell he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. So we need you to make him look like a really good champion, okay? Can you make sure he looks like a great champion? And Rick's like, you got it, boss. And when he's not the champion, you're thinking, okay, I guess this is not a merit-based system necessarily, you know?
I loved the Warrior Rick Rude feud. Like, I thought it was cool that they stole the Intercontinental Championship from him at WrestleMania 5, I believe it was. And then obviously he won it back at SummerSlam, and then he went on to become WWF champion at WrestleMania 6. And then at the next SummerSlam, they had the steel cage match. And the cool thing was Rick Rude was obviously, as you said, just ripped and jacked. And that was when he had his long hair. And then leading up to that rematch with Warrior for the WWF title, he cut his hair and he got somehow bigger, but was
more
still ripped and jacked.
I know how. I'm aware how.
What are you talking
we
about?
know how.
Creatine?
I don't know.
Is it creatine?
Yeah,
I don't know
probably
what
some
protein?
probably
He
some
got,
creatine.
I mean, the fact that he did get bigger, but he stayed just as lean, and he looked fantastic. And just, again, man, I'm going to sound like a broken record. The look, the walk, the talk, the character, it's all there. And it's insane to think all of these guys were in the same era and didn't become world champions.
Yeah.
Think about it if that was today, right? And you're like, hey, Randy Orton was never a world champion. You know, maybe like Roman Reigns was never a world champion. Cody was never a world champion. It was just, it was Cena, and then it was, you know, one other guy, and then that's basically it.
I mean, to be fair, you had these big names that took up all that space in that scene, and I think some of the only reason we're not maybe seeing more modern WWE names is because they did split that title. Like certain people might not have ever gotten there if they hadn't split that title, because Roman Reigns was the guy for so long.
True.
That would be a bunch more names on this list.
Do you like, off subject, do you guys like the split world champions, or you do not? You don't like it?
No, I don't care for it.
I don't mind it.
I think we have a pretty defined hierarchy.
I will tell you why I don't mind it.
Okay.
Because I grew up with multiple world champions anyway. There was WCW and there was WWE, right?
Sure.
And so, and you always felt one was higher than the other, depending on who had it, obviously, right? So that's why I don't mind WWE having two world champions. So I'm like, I grew up with two world champions. I don't care.
They're under the same roof, though.
That's okay.
That's the problem. That's my problem. I don't understand why, if you have the WWE title, you're not going after the other one. You know,
well, it's similar to boxing too. Right, in boxing, there's 4 bodies, and you might be the WBO welterweight champion. I might be the WBA welterweight champion. He might be the WBC world welterweight champion, and he might be the IBF welterweight champion. Right, and it makes it more special when you unify those titles. When someone goes and gets all 4, or in this case, you know, every once in a while, WWE, the guys will unify the championships. So it's just, you know, it's a cycle, and that's why I don't mind it that much.
All right. Okay. Well,
different perspectives.
I think if one wasn't treated like the Intercontinental title and one wasn't treated like the world title, I would have a different opinion, but one feels like they treat it like the Intercontinental title and one they treat like the world title. But that's just how I feel. But speaking of world titles, James, you got 2 picks in a row here. Who's going to be your second?
2 picks.
To never win the world title. Who you got? Who you picking second?
I can't believe it got all the way around to me again, and my number 2 was not picked. So that's pretty good. That's good news for me.
That is good.
I'm going to grab my number 2.
Okay.
Scott Hall.
Oh, that was mine.
Yeah,
Scott
he's on
Hall.
He's on everyone's list. Yeah.
Obviously iconic wrestler, you know, and he pioneered the NWO and was a big part of that. But even before then, the fact that we missed out on a Razor Ramon world title run would have been him as a heel holding that title, gaudying it up. Like, it basically would have felt like Latino Heat before Latino Heat, except with a guy who isn't Latino doing all this, you know?
Yeah.
But it would have been really fun.
Yeah.
And him just
As a
being
babyface too, I think.
Sure, as a babyface, he
Yeah.
absolutely could have. But I also think like him as just a real smarmy, because even his babyface side was like,
Yeah.
I respect you, 1, 2, 3, kid, but like stay out of my way. You know, he just would have been so much personality would have. They would have had to change the whole graphics package for the era to match his style. And I think they would have, and it would have been fun.
Do you think there's a world where he doesn't leave WWE? Shawn becomes world champion at WrestleMania 12, and instead of losing the title to Sid later on, he loses it to Razor.
Yes, I could see that for sure. I think if they had stayed, they would have figured out something to do. I mean, if nothing else, because they had so much creative control and
they would have
leverage
at
back
least
there.
wrestled each other.
But they for sure would have had some sort of thing, and I guarantee you they would have just handed the belt around to all
switched
of
it
them.
off. Yeah,
Just
but then we would have
in a
never got the
circle.
NWO.
I know.
Yeah.
But then in WCW, obviously he made a huge mark. But then you're like, when would that? When would he have moved into that spot there?
That's the point
you
I
know?
was going to actually bring up. One of the things that's so awesome about Scott Hall and how good he was is not only did he have an opportunity in WWE where he could have done it, there's also an opportunity in WCW where it could have been done. You know, like, and the question is when. Obviously, I think it would have probably been somewhere in that 1999, 2000 era, like after the original run of the NWO, after Sting takes the belt from Hogan, and then maybe that's where you could have built
It's
up.
after the Goldberg taser stuff.
After the
That's-
Goldberg, yeah.
That's when you put it on Hall.
Do you-
is that you take it from Goldberg to put it on Hall? That's how you end the streak with the taser stuff. You put the belt on Hall and
Instead
then
of
Goldberg chases it back.
Nash. I like that.
Do you think?
Yeah, I
do
like
you
that.
think he would have been? Is there a world where he does a babyface turn?
I thought
and
about
becomes
that
a
too.
babyface
I thought about that too.
WCW
But you know what? The
champion?
more I think about what he's saying, a lot of people hated Nash beating him with the taser thing, but I think it's because Nash was cool and he was like kind of a big, dominant, tough guy. I think the taser works better for Scott Hall
Yeah,
because
does.
he was also
100%.
cool.
Yeah.
But like you said, he's kind of that like slimy, like,
Yeah.
it makes sense for him to.
Yeah.
He's also not looked at. He's a big guy. He's not looked at like
No,
a big
yeah,
guy.
Because he found the only other bigger guy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
to be his best
Exactly.
friend.
I really wish they did it with Scott Hall now.
But that's the time. That's
Yeah,
when they should
that's
have
it.
done it. Was Goldberg taser thing? It should have gone on Hall and not Nash.
Yeah, you're
that's.
right.
I'm pretty firm on that. I also think that you're right. If he would have stayed in WWF, he would have had the title. I think that was a matter of time thing. And there's a part of me that thinks that Scott Hall doesn't care that he was not the world champion. I think that there's some of it. I think there's some of it where he just goes like, man, it would have been cool. But I think when he really sits down and thinks, like, if he would have thought down, it would have been like, yeah, I still got paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that to me
I think
was
at that
really-
point, yeah.
I think he was really happy.
especially back then, guys wanted to become world champion because that's where they made the most money.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? But if you can make that much money,
Yeah.
like if somebody came to me and was like, "Hey, Sky, do you want to be the world champion or do you want to make $5 million over the next few years?"
Yeah.
I'd be like, I don't need to be world champion.
Yeah, both are
Come
not an option,
on,
right?
make
Hit
me
me,
a
pay me.
jobber. I don't care. 5 milli, 5 M's, and he probably made more than that.
I also I didn't know the man, but he did seem to have somewhat of a reputation for being like, this kid's got something.
No,
Yeah,
for
yes.
sure.
Like, let him roll me up, schoolboy me,
Yeah.
or where, you know. And so that's pretty admirable when you're thinking about your full legacy. I'm sure maybe there aren't, but I'm sure there's people that are like, man, the only shot I mean, 1, 2, 3 kid, you know, obviously
That was
but like
Jericho. Jericho in WCW. That Scott Hall told him, "Yeah, you're gonna beat me."
Yeah,
did.
there you
That
go.
was a
Yeah,
huge-
like
that was
so the
huge.
number of people.
Reportedly, Bischoff was furious about it.
Yep.
but
Yeah.
Yep.
but it was just because it wasn't what he was asked to do. But apparently Scott Hall was just like, "But did you like it?"
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I liked it."
He had a great sense for it, and I think sometimes when you like appreciate the medium too much, you see that you don't see yourself there.
Yeah,
because you're too busy moving all the other pieces around. So
I love your finish. Can't wait to kick out of it.
Can't wait to kick out of it. All right, James.
Nice.
You got Scott Hall off the board.
God, I love Scott Hall.
But you got another one.
Yeah.
You got another pick because you're back to back here. But remember, this is your third pick, and you're not getting another pick until me and Sky both go twice. So you got to think about this.
That's right.
Okay. That's okay. All right. I'm going to follow my heart on this one. I'm curious. I want to hear the discussion. Owen Hart.
Yeah.
On my list.
Owen
It's
Hart.
on my list.
On my list.
And I want to add the clarification that with hindsight, we can see how great he was. Putting on this stellar work, just trapped in the shadow.
Of course.
Again, it's like Scott Hall finding the only bigger, tougher guy, right? Owen Hart happened to be born alongside the only other best wrestler, right? You know, like the slightly better wrestler. But even then, sometimes when you see them work with different people, you go, oh my gosh, like this couldn't have been a Brett match.
I like the layer we are adding, though, of like not only pointing out guys that could have won it, but like, when do you think?
Yeah.
Where do you think he gets it?
I mean, I think that's why I'm adding the clarifier to this, because I think it's so far in the future from where he unfortunately passed away, and it requires him not getting punished for his brother leaving, right? But because I would watch him and I go like, oh, he's like the less charismatic. Yeah. When you don't have a sense for how great he was, you just kind of see him as he's not as great on the mic. You can kind of throw him a little bit. He has really good matches, but he also kind of just like comes out in the middle of the show.
I can give you two places I think he could have legitimately won the world title. And I'm going to give you my second favorite first. Okay. And that would have been after Brett left.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they could have done something where maybe it wouldn't be a long reign. I don't see Owen as a long-term champion. I think he's very short-term.
Yes.
So they could have done something where maybe he beats Shawn and then Shawn gets it back, right? Because remember they had that little feud who was the Blackheart, or maybe
had
even
the
as a
Enziguri
heel
thing.
turn. Yeah,
that Enziguri knockout move too.
That was a little earlier, right? Yeah, but and then I'll give you the other option, and this is my favorite option. I think he could have been in the Bob Backlund role.
Can
you imagine
an older Owen?
No, I mean literally. Survivor Series, he faces Brett. He absolutely finds some slimy way to screw him and win the world title. And then a day later or whatever it was, he gets kicked and jackknifed and powerbombed and beat by Kevin. Like, is that not an Owen Hart world title? Like he holds it for like 2 days and Diesel just jackknifes him and beats him in 9 seconds or whatever. Like, I think that could have been Owen Hart.
I hate that, but I can see it for sure happening.
It fits him though, right? As the slimy little brother. And it's like, oh, he finally beats his slimy, or he beats his older, better brother, and then like Diesel takes it from him right away.
Yeah.
And then we get another Brett Owen match at WrestleMania 11, right? Instead of Brett and Bob Backlund. No shade to Bob Backlund. And I actually loved his run. Yeah. His heel run late. But I think had that been Owen, it would have been even better.
Yeah. I see that.
He would have won it in TNA.
Oh, you're right.
He would have gone to TNA. Because WCW would have ended. WCW, what they were doing with Brett and everything, I don't think Brett would have been like, hey, come on over to WCW. I just don't think that would have been the thing. But I do think he would have gone to TNA, and I think he would have feuded with Jeff Jarrett, and I think he would have won the title from Jeff Jarrett, and I think they would have traded it back and forth for a little while. I think that is the role. Yeah. I think that is the role that he would have fit in. I think Owen Hart would have had an incredible TNA run.
I'm going to toss another one out there.
Okay.
AEW.
Ooh.
Wow.
He for sure, I could see for sure a world where he is like a legacy. Like a Jericho run.
I take a different approach than you guys.
Uh-huh.
I don't think he would have wrestled that much longer.
Yeah, I know he was on the record saying like he loved his family more than he loved being on the road wrestling.
Oh, I didn't. I hadn't heard about
like that.
Yeah.
Like he was blessed with the skills to do it, but wasn't the same as Brett in terms of like this is his whole existence.
I think he would have maybe done a few more years with WWE, and made some money. And I think he would have seen what was happening with Brett and WCW and probably been like, or maybe he still goes to WCW, makes a little bit of money, and then probably calls it a career after that. But yeah, I don't think he sticks around for another 10 years.
Yeah.
You know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or plus, 10 plus, whatever it would have been. Yeah,
Hey,
unfortunately.
Owen's a great pick.
Great
Owen's
pick.
a fantastic pick.
Yeah.
That's one that was on my board, off my board now. But I have to make my pick. So
Yeah.
we got to move this along, boys. And I think
We do.
my pick, he's going to be maybe one of the greatest Intercontinental champions of all time. It's Goldust.
That was
Yeah.
going to be my next pick.
Yeah.
Mine was Goldust / Dustin.
Dustin
Yeah,
Reynolds.
slash
I had the
Dustin.
same idea, the slash, because
I think in WCW he could have done it.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. I was about to say the exact same thing. As Goldust, if he would have stayed Goldust longer and like sunk his teeth into that character more, I think there's so much more you could have done with that character to move him up into that world title thing, because man, it was heat every time he came out. But before that, the WCW stuff, dude, as the Natural, he could have won the world title and it would have made all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
It would have made all the sense in the world for him to win that thing. Never won a world championship. And man, he's still kicking. What an incredible world.
I wouldn't hate seeing him do it in AEW.
Hell no, that'd be awesome.
I don't know if that happens, but like anything's possible. But I mean, he can still go.
Yeah.
He
Crazy.
still looks good. He's still over. I would love to see him win the AEW World Championship.
Again, the issue, especially with the Goldust character, was that tons of heat, but it was we want to see this guy get obliterated.
Yeah.
100%.
Because of the time
Yeah.
and stuff. And I think there, like you say, there's a world where you can pivot that character. He did become kind of that baby face.
Yeah.
People at a certain point, people are like, oh, they were winning him over, especially with the Shattered Dreams. And like, there's a certain thing where he was using his weirdness for babyface good a little bit. And you could have pivoted maybe away from some of the stranger stuff, the baiting and things, but still kept the essence of this character. I mean, isn't it reported? Maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but Jericho's entrance into WWE, when they did the countdown, wasn't that initially going to be a Goldust return?
I don't think so.
No?
Because all the interviews I've
thinking-
seen with Jericho was when he was heading into WWE, he went to like the post office and he saw a countdown, and that's where he got the idea.
Are you thinking of the GTV stuff?
Yeah, you're probably thinking GTV.
Maybe that's what I'm confusing.
Because
it
that
with.
was all like the backstage weird TV, like black and white stuff or whatever that was at like the same time.
Yeah.
And that was like an unsolved mystery, and that was supposed to be a Goldust.
I'll tell you one where I think he would have had a really good run is if we got a natural Dustin Rhodes ECW run.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
I think if he had done a run there, I mean, because
Yeah.
he's hardcore too. He
Yeah,
could have
yeah.
done barbed wire matches or whatever he wanted to do. He could have worked with all those guys. He would have had great matches. I think he would have had a run there
I think
had he
that's
done
great.
one.
Yeah. Especially with Dusty around and all that. Like, that would have been really interesting.
Took my pick, man.
Yeah, hell yeah, baby, because that's why it's my pick. But Sky, you got 2 picks, and they're your final 2 picks. So what's going to be your third, and then what's going to be your fourth where you snipe James out of the sky and take it?
All right. So my next pick, I don't even need to build it up. MVP.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
MVP
Ooh.
to me is a main event character. Another guy, again, he had the look, he had the walk, he had the talk, he had the character. I loved the whole sports athlete football thing, the entrance, the music, everything was, to me, that's a main event character. And for whatever reason, it just didn't happen for him. Unfortunately, I don't know if it was politics or whatever it is, but, and I'm not going to pretend like I remember those years, like what was happening in the company specifically.
Yeah.
So I'm not even sure I can pick out a time where he could have done it, but I'm just going to say that he was so good and he was over. And there was probably any time in his first few years they could have done it. And I believe they had 2 titles at that time.
Yep.
And so there's no reason why he shouldn't have had one of them.
Yeah, he could have won it on SmackDown. He could have beat, like, Kane. Honestly, you haven't beat Kane for it, and then he's running scared from Kane, but he's the same character as the world champion or whatever. You give him that first title run, that sort of breaks that, and then he can lose it quickly and then win it again later. That makes all the sense in the world to me.
Yes, sir.
The thing I really like about MVP is that when he talked about pro wrestling, he always talked about like WWE was never his goal. He always wanted to go to Japan. And I thought that was so awesome. I thought that was, I'm just like, that guy's great. What a crazy dude to be like, yeah, I can go to WWE and just win some championships, do my thing. I really want to go to Japan. And it's like, you're nuts.
Yeah.
That's so cool. What a great pick. Dude, sleeper pick. Wouldn't have thought of this.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I'm still on the board, right?
You got to pick your last
So
one.
my last pick,
Your last one.
Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
Whoa!
There's another one.
Yep.
One of my favorite wrestlers ever. Just so good. I think the time to do it would have been, or the time to start building to do it would have been after the Shawn match. And then
definitely.
I don't remember if it was around that same time, but also he had a sneak win on Triple H.
He did.
Where he got him with the
around
jackknife pin.
Yep.
And it was like they were grooming him to get there. And for whatever reason, it didn't happen. And yeah, I just don't know. I mean, he was over. He's one of the best in-ring performers ever. He's a huge guy.
He's huge.
You know, he's huge. He's got a great look. He can work with anybody. Great character. He could talk. It just, I don't know why it didn't happen for him. He's so good, man.
Yeah, it feels like at that time they wanted him to be a guy, and then they just decided that, we're kind of cold on him now. And then that was it. And it's like, he was like one of my favorite, like, tune into this show for this guys. Because you could put him in any match. And that was around the time when you had, like, it was getting wacky. It started, like, because he was, like, really cooking and then, like, moving up. And then it's like, here's Spirit Squad. And I'm like, what's happening? Like, just give me Shelton Benjamin matches.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? Like, what are, like, all these other pieces and parts? And it felt like they were going zany for character stuff at a time where Shelton Benjamin was that, like, hard-nosed, grindstone, like, worker who I loved to watch and still do.
Did he win the ECW title when he was in WWE?
I don't think so. I feel like
That's
he
one
was
thing
the...
I don't... Maybe
I
not.
feel like...
Because
No,
I liked the gold standard Shelton Benjamin too.
The
That
gold
was a cool
standard was
character.
cool with the blonde hair and all that stuff.
Maybe
but
I just broke my own rule though. I got to see if he was the ECW champion.
doesn't feel like it because it would have been what Morrison and Punk, Christian, Kane, like around that time. Shelton? I don't think so.
I don't remember exactly.
Get in the comments and be mean to Scorpio
it's too
Sky
late.
if
It's
you
locked
wanna.
in now.
It's locked in.
Yeah, it's too late. I
let's
actually
see.
can't erase stuff from
Yeah,
this
I don't
board.
see it on there, but yeah, he should have
You're
been. I think again, the gold standard character was good. His standalone character was good, and I feel like when they tested him against Shawn, and they tested him against Triple H, and he knocked it out of the park. That should have been.
Yeah,
I mean,
what else do you
obviously,
need to-
Shawn and Triple H.
Yeah.
Those guys are. Anybody's having great matches with them, but it's like you can clearly look at those and see. Oh, it's like, oh, it's not Triple H and Shawn carrying it. Like he's holding his own, if not looking better. And it should have happened for him, and it didn't. Unfortunately, it's another guy I'd love to see become world champion.
I was going to say,
in
it's
AEW.
not like his
He's
career is
still
anywhere close to being over.
active, and I would love to see him win it.
And he
in
looks the
AEW.
same somehow.
Yes.
if not better. If not better. Those are my picks.
An ageless wonder, Shelton Benjamin. Speaking of ageless wonders, I'm going to go with one of my own.
Oh.
That's going to be Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Arn Anderson looked 40 since he was 24. and damn, he's the guy who, we talked about the dad test. That's a guy who passed the dad test. He made everyone look good. He was unstoppable. He's so good. Great as a tag team guy, but as a singles guy, could just go. He made, as a TV title guy too, give me a million 10-minute Arn Anderson matches over every 45-minute classic that like we're going to get all the time. He could tell a succinct story where you're either cheering for that guy or you're booing him out the gate. Incredible worker. The second to Ric Flair. And just because of that, it was never going to be.
But when
Arn
Flair
Anderson's
left and went to WWE the first time in 91 or 92 or whatever it was, that could have been the time.
Yep.
Flair's gone. elevate him, you know. And I can't remember what was happening in the company at that time, but I mean, that seems to me like that would have been a great time.
I mean, we keep talking about these like workhorse second seat wrestlers, but all I'm thinking is you should have put it on him while Flair was there.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Think of that tension.
Yeah.
That Flair has, I don't even know who, it's Sting or whatever, and he loses to Sting, but then Arn gets him the next night and wins it. And now you have this, Flair's like, okay, now me. And he's like, well, hold on a minute. I'm the champ. You haven't earned your spot. You're at the end of the line. Like, that's such a perfect thing that you can string on for weeks and months.
Yep.
It looks like Lex Luger got it after Flair left.
Sounds, I mean, that sounds right.
Yeah.
And Lex
then it went to
is
Sting.
going to be that guy in that spot. You know?
Yeah, you have Arn beat Lex and then have Sting beat Arn.
Why not? Why not?
You know what I mean?
That's a guy. Yeah. That's a guy that could be at the top of the company again. A guy who James called him like that bouncer. Test.
Truck
That's
driver.
Arn Anderson.
Yeah. What did you say?
They were
going to
fight for a living either way.
Yeah.
It's Arn Anderson passed the dad test. He's the bouncer.
Dad test, that's
all
what
of
it
it's
is,
real. All of it's everything Arn Anderson did was real. And then it's great when you watch people watch Arn Anderson matches and then they go, well, I'm just going to do all of this stuff. Oh, I fake hit you and you ducked and I gave you a DDT.
For what it's worth,
it's awesome.
He became world champion in my action figures federation when I was a kid.
Hell yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good pick.
So
good pick.
He was a world champion for me, in my heart.
Way to go, Booker, man. But we have the last pick of this list, and it's James, and then we'll get to honorable mentions. But James, who is going to round out your list?
Man, this is tough. I still have 6 names.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I have so many.
I have 6 names here. Part of me wants to, because I feel like you both did a really good job adding some, sleeper choices in there. Maybe some people that weren't on the top of my mind. So I feel like maybe that's what I should do as well. So I'm going to, as opposed to picking maybe a overall consensus one or a shocking one, I'm going to pick a personal one.
Okay.
Billy Gunn.
Oh.
Whoa.
Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I don't know
pick.
why, but there's a world where after New Age Outlaws kind of spins itself out, he's still there, still huge, still great, still fantastic wrestler, putting on great matches with everyone. Eschews the ass man persona in favor of more of a look at this specimen.
Badass Billy Gunn.
Billy Gunn returns truly and then moves into like a JBL type spot, a top guy spot where he goes out there and he roughs you up real bad. And but the thing is, he enjoys doing it too. I don't know why I couldn't, when we were going through this and I was looking at names, that was something I just couldn't shake. So I don't know obviously he's got a storied career. He's done the work. And I don't know if the timing was ever good for that. So I'm making up a lot of runway for this to be real, but I can see it so clearly in my head.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know the time either, but I think I would have loved to see him and Stone Cold Steve Austin have an actual rivalry with time. Him and Triple H would have been great.
Yeah.
Him and The Rock, him and Mick Foley. There could have definitely been, maybe he joins the corporation and he's like the guy at one point, that they're running with. Like
in a giant suit.
Yeah. I mean, he was like similar to what we were talking about earlier, where it's just like, is making other people look so good working against you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because he was a bumping machine back then.
He loved it.
He was taking bumps, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he was all over. He was so athletic for his size, man. And to be able to like do inside out cells and things of that nature, like unbelievable, dude. Yeah, that's a great pick.
So that's my wild card.
He loved taking that clothesline from hell and turning it inside out. Man.
Yeah.
That was his favorite. He loved, hey, I'm going to hit, you move, watch the splash. He hits the splash in the corner, bumps out, turns, and just eats the clothesline, turns inside out. Huge every time. And he's done it a million times. And it looked cool every time. And I think it's just the Mr. Perfect thing of like the selling put you in a box and you didn't get out of the box and it sucks. It sucks because it could have been. But that's James' last pick, which means our board is complete.
Wow.
James.
Yeah.
James has picked for the greatest to never win the world title: Rowdy Roddy Piper, Scott Hall, Owen Hart, and Billy Gunn. Eric has picked Mr. Perfect, Rick Rude, Gold Dust, and Arn Anderson. Scorpio Sky has picked Ted DiBiase, Jake the Snake Roberts, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin. Boys, an incredible draft. This was a good one. I love the little wrinkle of when should they have won it?
Yeah, me too.
Oh, that's so good. But what are some honorable mentions you guys had that didn't quite make the list?
Here's my honorable mentions in no particular order. British Bulldog.
Yes.
Honky Tonk Man.
Ooh, okay.
Dean Malenko.
On my list, yeah.
Yeah.
Lance Storm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Gotta
Luna
love
Vachon.
Lance Storm. Luna Vachon.
Luna.
Oh,
Vachon.
women's.
That would have been fun.
Luna
would have been that's
Yeah.
a good one.
That is a good one.
The ones that my honorable mentions, I have two. The Dean Malenko one you took off my list, but William Regal
Oh yeah.
got close a couple of times, especially like later in that career. Really fun to watch. And a guy who was definitely penciled to win in the 80s, but suffered a car wreck that derailed his career, is Magnum TA, the NWA United States heavyweight champion. Suffered a debilitating injury in a car crash, was penciled in to win in 86 to win the World Heavyweight Championship. I was going to put him on as my fourth, but I could not. Arn Anderson, man, had to be on there.
I'm going to add one
Guys,
name,
incredible.
and
Oh,
it's a
what's that?
sleeper. Sean Waltman.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Interesting.
Underdog champion.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just think he's one of the best wrestlers ever. Ushered in the smaller wrestler, could work with anybody. Even though he's a pretty big guy, but he ushered in the smaller wrestler. He's like
comparatively.
6'2", 6'3", whatever he is. But
tiny guy.
freaking awesome guy, man. And I think they could have made him a world champion.
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think, and the reason why I said, again, I think if he was a current wrestler today, right, even if he was smaller physically, he would become he'd be a EW world champion or something, or TNA.
Yeah, because the underdog was appreciated a little bit more now. Like back then, it was like, oh yeah, you can be an underdog, but you have to be Hulk Hogan fighting from below.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, you have to be a super...
You couldn't be an actual underdog perceived in the world underdog, but I think if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have gotten Jeff Hardy, Darby Allin. You know, we wouldn't have gotten these true Brian Danielson, maybe to a certain degree, underdog champions.
Yeah.
So
agree.
Well, that's our list. That's our board. Get in the comments and let us know who won the draft, but also let us know who your 4 picks are. Can you do it without picking anyone on this list? Who are your best to ever do it without winning the world title? I think this was an incredible draft.
it was fun. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was fun researching too.
It was.
So I always check myself on Google and everything and going like, no, that can't be right.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I didn't even consider that person. That can't be right.
It's fun, but sad.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean,
Right, because I mourn for like, oh man, this would have been like even just
100%.
my mind going to, and it just came to my mind while we were doing this, Owen being in that Bob Backlund role, and him figuring out a way to screw Brett at the Survivor Series and win the world title, and then steal from, like, I'm just like, oh, that would have been so cool.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of these guys, Dustin, you know, it would have been so cool to see these guys, Shelton, and be like,
the story isn't over for everyone.
story
on
is
that
not
list.
over for everyone.
So, and the story of this show is not over for you. So if you want to keep up with the story, you got to follow us on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube to make sure you never miss a small package. Creating Character Pod is the place to do it. But yeah, and if you want to keep up with me and the MPW National Championship, James.Willems is how to do it. Eric, I'm with you at this moment.
That's right. We're
People
hanging
listening to
out.
this. We're hanging out in Austin,
We're
Texas.
high-fiving. This
Don't
episode
find
came
us.
out, we're high-fiving right
Yeah,
now.
don't look
this
for us.
week.
That's this week.
Oh.
Don't come looking for us. You won't find us. We're underground. Sky?
At Scorpio Sky on Threads and Instagram, Scorpio Sky Official on TikTok. I might be doing an upload soon.
Okay.
As well as the live.
That you sent us something this past week, and you're like, I got to figure out how to do something like this.
Yes. Eric.
Find me at Eric Bedour on everything. A lot of really cool videos on TikTok that I've been sharing. A lot of car crashes, a lot of people taking experimental drugs that who knows what they do to you. You got the only one way to find out is TikTok. What? Yeah, that's the experiment. That's what I'm saying. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Follow us at Creating Character Pod. Let us know who won, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.